Alright, this is the checkout of the Fender Bassman that I just repaired that came from Las Vegas. Hey, welcome to D-Lab. On the bench today, from the original owner's son, I have a 64 Fender Bassman. It's in need of complete retube, recapping, and a facelift. Should be a good one. Here we go. Well, let's give the Bassman a look over before I start repairs. Obviously, we need a new front panel. I've got that on order. Here is the dial lamp that used to go through that hole. Inside, she looks 100% complete. I don't see any signs of past maintenance. Still has these old electrolytics that have to go. Some of these blue Ajax type are going to have to go too, especially the ones going to the grids of the output tubes. There is the negative bias cap. Under there is the death cap, which will come out after I update the power cord to a 3 conductor. Alright, let's take a look top side. Alright, transformers look original. This guy's a little sprung. Maybe it was dropped at one time. Got these old crusty filter caps. Those have to be replaced. I've inspected the tube sockets. They look great. The tubes are all going to be changed. There are some of these mismatched 6L6s. Look at that realistic. It's instead of lifetime, it's cook time on this guy, right? It's in bad shape. And then we have an old RCA, and the base is busted off. So no reason to even attempt to use those. I'll put in some fresh Tung-sols when all the maintenance is complete. But the first thing I'm going to do is obviously change out the power supply filter caps. We'll get a grounded cord on it, change out the caps on the eyelet board and the bias cap, and then I'll give her a test. And here's the cabinet. Pretty crusty, dusty, little blotch of paint here, but the Tolex is actually in decent shape. So I'm going to get this professionally clean for the guy when we got everything else done. Alright, well, I've wrapped up the electronic restoration at this point for the Bassman. I'm getting ready to test it, so it's been all recapped. I added master volume, grounded power cord. Now it is time to physically inspect the amp before I apply power. And I've got a few new goodies in the shop that I want to show you that I'm going to use for this process now and in the future. I recently picked up a Dino Light Premier, so this is a handheld microscope. It's sitting on a base, and I've got it aimed over the eyelet board. Right? So if we swoop over here, you can see I've got my PC hooked up, and what's really cool is not only can you use this just for inspecting, but you can also take pictures and record video on it. The other thing I want to point out, it's been a long time coming. I need to plug the guy that I've been buying these tubes from. So here's his card. He sells on eBay, and I buy all my power tubes from this guy. It's vacuumtubevalves.com. You can see his eBay ID there. This guy is a super salesman. I've never had a problem with his tubes. He's got great follow-up. I'd highly recommend that if you want a good match pair of tubes, this is the guy. So as you guys know, I use this Luxo light for most of my inspections, but I found that even with this magnification, sometimes I miss cracked connections, so that's why I'm going with the Dino Light. So right now I'm focused on this 100 ohm resistor where it junctions with these 3 components that are in the inverter circuit. If you take a close look right there where the 100 ohm resistor meets in the eyelet, you're going to see a crack. A very hairline crack, and you may think that's not going to cause a problem, but that is a generator of noise and static in your output. So with this Dino Light, I'm going to be able to pan across all these connections and verify the integrity before I ever apply power, and hopefully that will help me to catch bad connections that don't haunt me and have me doing that tap test all the time. The other thing that's nice is I'll be able to take that and look at all the tube pins, because as you know, Fender just pokes those wires through the sockets, and sometimes you have a little ring crack around those, and they'll also play games with you. So I think that this is going to be a very handy gadget for D-Lab. So in this view, I've moved the Dino Light down approximately 1 inch above the eyelet. Now you can see that thing almost fills my entire screen. You can actually see cracking now all the way around, and you can see that the lead is actually pulled out of the solder connection. How great is that? So for the fun of it, let's repair that connection and monitor the soldering right under the microscope. I don't plan to always do it this way. I'm probably just going to find the connections, repair them, and then re-inspect. But what the heck, let's give it a shot. Here we go. Just reflow that solder. There she is. Looks pretty good. Just got to clean that rosin out of there. But man, how beautiful is that, huh? So inspection is complete. Before I fire it up and do the electric checkout, let's get this nasty panel off of here and install the replacement. Alright, this is the checkout of the Fender Bassman that I just repaired that came from Las Vegas.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool.
Let's check out this other channel.
Oh, the bass channel? Alright.
That sounds good. I love that fat sound.
Alright, so if you have a Bassman, and if you ever wanted tremolo, well, this is the D-Lab's phasing type tremolo system on the Bassman.
I was using a pick. Too.
All right, yeah, give it a shot. So the next step is to compare this to like a Vibrolux, right? Yeah. You want one, Tony?
Yeah.
All right, so a successful restoration of the ugly duckling back into the magic musical machine that it once was, ready for another couple decades of service from D-Lab Electronics. We'll see you again.